got no idea why that just did that. What's happening? What is happening right now? I'm on loop. Can you hear me? This is not good. Uh-oh. Let me remove my... I can't hear. Whoa, what is happening right now? I got no idea. Can you hear me at all, Simon? Yes? I don't know what happened there. Guys, I'm really sorry. I can't hear Simon at all. Nope, can't hear you. Well, shit. Something. Sorry about the technical difficulties, people. We got Optimistic joining. Yep, can't hear.
Boom, 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 boom.
Okay.
How about now?
Can you hear us now? Can you hear now? Can you hear me?
Yes.
What a shit show. Sorry, guys. We got 30 people in. I don't know why the music was looping weird. I couldn't hear anything.
I'm back.
And I was thinking that we were going to have to like restart it or something, but
you want to restart? We could
well,
we could just go back out real quick and do
like,
it.
Let's see in the chat. Can you guys
they can hear.
I got hear?
Cosmic Mama says Simon is back. Yep. Gotta be saying let's go. Susan Robbins, LFG.
All right.
Lisa A is talking about you. I can hear you both.
All right.
Man, that sucks. Y'all couldn't hear me. I did this quick little ad lib, and Stone is in the green room, and he's making funny faces at me and doing hand gestures and stuff. And I was just trying to keep my composure, and I'm like, he's a clown. I love him. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to do a in-person live with this. It's gonna be a good time. Let's have some tea.
Yeah. Anyway, well, welcome to Dipacho Show. Happy Hump Day. Very nice to see you, Simon.
Very nice to see you too.
As most of you know, we were supposed to have Erish Grant on with C14, the fiat to crypto ramp, but he's not feeling well. So we canceled. We're going to reschedule. But we decided to have panel night tonight, and Stone graciously just said he would join us along with Optimistic Prime and another special guest we have, Jay from FML is a surprise.
Not anymore. Cat's out of the bag, baby. Let's go.
And we have Greg Gotta Be is going to come in, and we might just throw the link out there and have a conversation and have whoever wants to come in pop on in. But you guys, there's 40 of you. Please share this out. If you're watching on X, please go to YouTube so you can participate in the chat at Dipato, and we're also at Dipato on Rumble. Sorry for the harsh start, but let's get these guys in here. What do you say? Well, I know we're gonna bring Stone in first. Let's see. Let's get Stone in here. Hello, Stone.
I was gonna fade in, but you just threw it in. Okay, here
I threw it out there.
Hey man, if you want to fade away and then come back to it.
That was so funny. You were like talking. I'm like,
oh, dude, I was ad-libbing.
I was a third baseman all of a sudden.
I
was like the third base coach. I'm like,
I was like, what is happening right now?
That was too funny.
Yeah, that was a
know.
little interesting. That was.
It was
so,
very
what's
weird.
good, man?
Never had
What's
that.
cracking with you, man?
Well, XRP's doing well. Have you heard of XRP?
Yeah. That's a company, right?
Yeah. Close,
Yeah, they created a coin called Ripple.
Okay, let's not
Oh
spread that.
man. Oh,
No.
I kind of have to just a small little bit because I still see like official literature that's out there in public, and they'll say Ripple XRP. It's like, no, you stupid, uneducated, brand new cryptopian. That's not correct.
But it's better to just encourage them and be like, that's great. Let me show you more. So we call it this, and but things are going well. Good. I think the first time I was on here, when was that?
A couple months ago, I think.
Last year?
I think because then you came back Christmas. You did a Christmas. Actually, no, you were on 2 times before that. There was an October. I swear you came in on another whim.
I think the first time was to talk about Chit-Ching and XRP recovery.
XRP recovery.
And then, so since then, Coffee and Crypto with Stone has really gotten popular. Made a lot of friends. And I do a lot of consulting. My day is consumed with screens and cameras and microphones now. And I meet so many people. Friendly tip or pro tip: connect or make your X and your Telegram and your Instagram and your Facebook, make them all the same photo and the same name. So I'll get someone in a video call, and we'll have like a 2-hour conversation, and I have them as a certain name, right? And then I'll meet them in a Telegram room talking about the same project, thinking I'm talking to someone different. It's like, it's hard for me to keep it separated. You gotta keep them separated.
Mm-hmm. You do.
I think Optimistic Prime taught me that, because I did have different names, even on X, having your name be the same as your handle, because she's like, people have a hard time finding you when they know me as World Be Free, but I was more crypto, and so people try to search for World Be Free and they weren't finding me, right? And so she convinced me that I needed to change it, and I'm so glad she did, because it's much better. It's much better now.
There is another lady on the ledger that does this, Lady K. Try to search Lady K.
Well, it's hard. Yeah. Because
you're not going to find Kristen.
You have to know her name.
Right. And it's just like, so that's a good tip. And I'm sure once you changed your name, your followers probably grew, because it was easier for people to find you.
Well, I'm excited for this evening. Even though we weren't able to have our guest on, I think that this is a perfect opportunity to chat with some friends. And there's so much going on in the crypto space that I thought it would be fun to just talk about a little bit of everything. And we do have this special guest on that I'd like for more people to know about him and his project. But I'd like to have it be a well-rounded conversation this evening. So shall we bring him in? You want to introduce him, Stone?
Oh, are we bringing in Jay now?
Yeah, I think it'd be nice to get him in there so that he's not waiting backstage.
Let me get this fixed again. I was trying to multitask. You caught me. So let me give you a little backstory about Jay. We met him. I met him through Optimistic Prime. Optimistic Prime is I would say 80% co-host on Coffee and Crypto with Stone. She's not tied to the show, but we encourage her to wake up on time. It's hard for her because we like to joke because she's on the wrong side of the country.
I am in the same time zone.
It's harder for her to make it, but she does. She always shows up. Anyway, So she's a very good judge of character, as you guys know. You've had her on the show. Everybody's heard her story by now, at least the ones that are in our group. Speaking of which, please share, like, subscribe. Get your people from your Telegram rooms in here. Retweet it out on X. Encourage everyone to join Dipito, subscribe, follow, please. Anyway, so Optimistic is she finds good people, and good people find her. And so she told me about Jay, and I paid it. She was talking about Jay. She didn't bring him straight up. She alluded to him, like, he's in the crowd. He's a good, he's been following me around, whatever. So I started paying attention to what he was doing, and he never talked about FML, but he was always around, And so while he was paying attention to me, I was paying attention to him, like many community members that get my eye, right? Or so somebody tells me that I should pay attention to him. And he was always in the right spaces, but never speaking. And then when I found out that he had a project, and I started going to his Telegram or his Discord. I never go to Discord, but he has one, right? Private rooms, whatever. He was always saying the right things. And then once you hear about FML and how the project came to be, you'll understand that he's the real deal. And I don't mean in any other fashion except for character. This is not financial advice. This is advice as far as surround yourself with people that are committed to community, are committed to something bigger and better and for the right reasons. And that's what I found in Jay. And I'll let him tell his story and his project, but I have had many video calls with him and his wife, and I've seen their children. I've heard the stories. I've heard the songs. There's music. There's a lot. There's a lot to this FML. It gets your attention. That FML, everybody already has a notion, or they think they know. Yeah. And then you hear the story. So Florida Man Landscaping. Please, Jay, introduce yourself.
Welcome, Florida Man Landscaping.
Hello, Dipito, and all of you wonderful people. It's like central casting up here.
I mean, well, welcome to Dipito.
Hey, look, this has been a long time coming in my heart. Like and subscribe, share the screen. If you're not subscribed, do it now. Let me just say this is the stuff, right? Before I talk about anything else, I wouldn't be here without people like you. I wouldn't be in crypto without people like you. I wouldn't have any idea about Dipito without people like you. And so without people like us sharing with the people that we know, they won't know. And so all of you that are out there that are listening, those that will come in on the recordings later, the XRPL is where it's at. It's life-changing. The most important thing about it is the relationships. I have been following these people around like a lost little puppy dog for months, picking their brain, learning from them, gleaning everything that I can, always feeling like I can't get enough of their time because they're helping so many people. So on behalf of all of FML, we have a great team, and just want to say it's an honor to be here, and I hope I can represent FML well. Aww. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, we really, words. Yeah, we welcome you, and I have to say, your graphics, your pictures, and the video, all of the things that you put out there is top notch, top of the notch, as we like to say on the Dipito Show.
There you go, top of the notch.
Thank you. Thank you. Tippy top, right? Indeed. Well, you guys set the bar high. Very high.
I'm familiar with the tippy top. Yeah.
Especially with Theta.
Oh, yeah. Oh. You're not talking about Theta.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I had to take the shot.
I can tell you a little bit about myself. So I'll jump into that so people can kind of get a frame of reference of if this is a guy that you're going to want to listen to. So I'm old. First of all, I was here before the interwebs. We all went through, at my age, the process of I don't believe in the internet. And let's see if I can explain this correctly. If you approach me to give you my credit card on the internet, you're a scam artist.
It's a
And I know
no-go.
it. That's right. Automatic. And so
No go.
where we've matured as society and as people, that we know now that if somebody comes to me and they say, hey, I want to do business, or I say, what's your website address? And I don't have one. You're a scam artist, right? So it's kind of interesting how we've shifted. And I see something very similar with, what do we call it? Crypto, digital assets, the internet of value, where the entire world is going to, whether people realize it or not. It's already happening. I would say for by and large, it's already happened. And all of retail and all of industry, nation states, they're all coming up to speed. But where I come in, vocationally, I've been in high tech, fintech IT. Came up through semiconductor at Intel Corporation.
Oh,
and then I was headhunted by Nike and worked for their IT department. I was their global release lead. So there was 3 of us in the company that did what I did, and we handled multi-billion-dollar releases. So all of the, like on your phone, you got Nike Plus. Every time you get an update, it was me in the background, like kind of wearing the white vest. If you can remember that old movie, Apollo 13, the guy who kind of ran the show and did the go, no go, or go for launch. Well, we would do that all around the globe. And my wife for years said, would you please stop doing that and do it for something like this for your family and for your community? And I have a huge
shout out to your wife.
Oh, wait till you, I'm sure you'll meet her. Wait till you meet Shauna.
I would beg her to come here. Little sidebar fun fact. So that right there, this is how my wife told me about my son, that she was
What's
pregnant. Sticky note.
Oh.
Right?
Oh.
And I could tell you many, many stories. She is a gem. She's ex-Army military intelligence, wounded vet, mom of twins, deliverer of dreams, FML and everything about it, from the name, kind of the idea and some of the genesis came right from her. My actual name on X, oh, there she is. XRP TTM.
We would love to meet you, Shauna. Feel free to come on in to dip a toe with us.
Jump on in.
Jump on in, Shauna.
If I could get the trophy wife to take over, believe me, I would. She's amazing. She's amazing. She literally is the yin to my yang. And
I have one of those. I definitely have one of those. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, just absolutely mind-boggling. Of what she did. She also comes from corporate America. She walked away from it all to be a stay-at-home mom. So it's kind of one of those things. So now we're homeschooling, and she is hypernutrition. You look at our cupboards, you wouldn't be able to see anything that you would recognize because it all comes from a farm like just down the road.
Love that.
Very rarely ever in a store anymore. We just go to Publix when we run out of stuff from the local markets. But yeah, it's she's 1 in a million, and can't say enough about her. So FML, I'll give you the Reader's Digest version of it real quick, and then you guys can ask questions, and we'll dive deeper.
Can you
land the plane at some point?
Yeah,
real quick. You made a reference there. Could you please explain to the 30 and belows what the Reader Digest is?
Oh, it's the Cliff Notes.
All right.
Readers, thank you. I do that a lot. I use acronyms all the time without thinking about it.
I love it. I know what Reader's
Digest in the house.
Yeah. Speaking of acronyms, we'll get to what FML stands for, and it's not what most of the youngsters would think it would mean, but we chose it on purpose for the reason that most people think it means what it means. It actually means something else. But here's the real quick 100,000 foot level of FML. We moved from Oregon to Florida a few years ago. And I was working 3 jobs, 3 full-time jobs. Some of you have seen my office. It's got at any one time no less than 7 screens.
Yeah.
So I got a screen here, here, and right over there. And it's because we saw the value of XRP. Very close, trusted friend in the military worked on me for years to get me to see it. And I said, crypto's a scam. Bitcoin's a scam. What does it do? I can't touch it. I can't hold it. My investment portfolio is extremely low risk. I'm going to be 65 someday. I'm actually getting pretty close to it, but going to get to be 65 someday. So I want to know that when I get there, my investments are sound and I'm not doing the I got to go back to work in retirement type of a thing. And so crypto was completely off the table until I was in an office meeting doing my normal IT stuff. And a guy from security came in who never gets rattled. Some of you have heard this story, but for the listeners. So here's a guy who never gets rattled. He is a cybersecurity expert and has been doing this for decades. Came from the military cyber division. And so he worked for the largest financial firm. I won't say the name, but largest financial firm in the United States. That's where I'm at right now. And in one of the meetings for a multi-million-dollar project, got really upset. And he was upset because we were lagging behind. And this was years ago. And we were lagging behind. And he mentioned ISO 222. And the person that was in the background that I respected, I mean, I would trust the guy with my children, but I didn't trust him with telling me about crypto. Right. And I didn't make the connection in my head that I was actually doing that. I would trust the guy with my life, but I wouldn't trust him and thought he was a fool when he was talking about money. And I missed. I could have got into XRP when it was below 20 cents, but I missed it. So when he finally, I heard that message in this meeting, I joked because I'd heard about ISO 222 and Basel 3 and all of it from this guy. Like, it's coming. For years he worked on me, and I refused to listen. And when I heard it in the meeting, it just fell out of my mouth. I was joking and said, "Are you talking about crypto?" And this is what got my attention. Not that he said it, because it could have been coincidental and may not have registered, but it came out of my mouth. But his response when I said, "Are you talking about crypto?" He lost it. Absolutely went bananas, totally unprofessional. Everybody in the room felt it. Nobody in their life will ever forget it because he shut me down with such a vengeance, saying, "We're not going to talk about that." And that's when I went, oh. So I went back to my friend and started talking to him about what I experienced. And that's when I started looking at XRP. From that moment, I turned to my wife and said, "How would you feel if I started working 2 to 3 jobs from home?" So I work from home. This is my office. I'm one of those lucky few that my children, the young ones of the 6, the bottom 4 don't know any different than me working from home. And so I said, "Hey, I can do that. I can have multiple jobs at one time." And that's what I've been doing. So the other 1 to 2 at all times, have been going to nothing but filling our crypto bags. Total utility. Not interested in memes at all. Vehemently against it. So understand that when I made the transition to crypto, it was a huge wedge in my relationship with my wife. Neither of us will ever forget it. I made an initial buy of $50 while she was sleeping. And she came out in the morning and I was like, "Woohoo, I doubled the money, baby, look at me." But it was such a deviation from my character. So she didn't realize that I had been in the background doing all of this research forever. And then I finally pulled the trigger, didn't tell her about it. I breached the trust of our relationship because we don't make any financial decisions at all without talking to each other. And so it was like, buy, sell, and I'm out. And then we talked about it. And I did it again about 4 months ago, when I would never in my life get involved in meme coins at all. Huge portfolio, nearly all of it, I would say about 92% of it is in crypto. 73% of it is in XRP. The rest of it is all in utility coins, not a single meme amongst them. And then I found out about the XRPL and the meme coin scene, again, from a trusted source. Let me back up just a little bit. Leading up to me getting into the meme coin scene, my wife and I had a promise after that rift in our marriage, because I changed something core about myself without telling her first. And that's the way I am. If I see something and I know it's true and I've done my homework, I move fast and I'm very decisive and I don't look back. Right. Unfortunately, I took people with me that love me and actually care about me more than anybody else on earth, and I didn't include her. So it was a good learning experience. But then I did it again with meme coins. And one of the things that the agreement that we had back when I first started getting into crypto, she said, "What is XRP?" I said, "It's basically a penny stock." She's asking, "When is it going to be worth something?" I said, "Probably not till 2030. And she said, "Great, buy as much as you want. Promise me you won't sell a single one until 2030.
Oh, wow.
So that's the agreement I have with my wife about
And-
XRP. No. Haven't touched that bag. So then when the meme coin scene
Haven't
came
touched
up,
that. There's the angle.
more.
There's the
Wait.
angle. I was like, oh, now wait
and
a
I
minute.
whittled her back, by the
2030.
way. She's not as tough as
Whoa.
nails as you think. I whittled her back on the 2030 a little bit. So now it's December 24th, 2029. So I've got her back to Christmas Eve dinner, right? So we're working on it. But, ultimately it was, gave her my word. XRPL meme coins came up and I said, baby, I'm not going to spend a single one of our XRP. But to get into the meme coins, I have to buy XRP to be able to get into the meme. But that's not our XRP. And she says, as long as we're not selling our bags, right, go ahead and do what you do. And so I did. And I started playing around and seeing it. And the force multiplier is something that I couldn't turn away from. And I had to tell everybody I knew about it, including my landscaper. So let's talk FML. When we moved to Florida, and I couldn't just do everything. We had moved across country. I was working. I was frenetic, out of control, busy. And the people that actually were renting, it's a company, was renting our house before us. They had a crew that would come out and keep the property nice while, it's up for rent. And so Kendall, the Florida Man landscaping legend, right? Last thing he is a landscaper, but you're always going to hear me saying my landscaper. You're going to all learn real quick that he does landscaping, but he is so much more than that. But I asked, hey, would you be willing to mow my yard? And we had an agreement. And he's like, yeah, we'll mow it. And finally it landed on, I'm not paying you on anything except XRP. He hadn't heard about XRP.
Oh.
So for years, and this goes back on the ledger for years, over like 2023, I started paying him in XRP, and it's only been XRP since then. And on December 2nd of 2024, after I'd been in the meme coin scene and I had seen a lot of the damage and carnage that had happened to some people, and I had lost my shirt on a couple of meme coins and everything, and I thought, well, we 6x'd. XRP went up. So what we bought in for our average cost, people can't do that anymore. It's never going to be back down into the 50s ever again, right? And so that's when I said, let's do this, because the number one thing that I see as a problem in the meme coin space is anonymity. And people hide behind an avatar. And that's where most of the trading takes place. So you can actually launch a token and nobody will ever know who you are. And that's when I said, as a unique sales perspective, as our product, USP is what we'll call it, we're going to be transparent. So I've got a master's degree. My wife is master's educated. And we wanted to bring all of our experience in corporate America to our friends and family and give them an opportunity to get into XRP in a way through the meme coin space with the force multiplier that we would never rug. So the only way for us to guarantee it is to pull together people that I trusted. So FML comprises of a friend of mine that goes all the way back 35 years. We did business together starting when I was 19. He's done 9 different brick to mortar. He's a serial entrepreneur. 7 of them have been widely successful. He came out of retirement to help with FML. Kendall, being our landscaper, when he showed me on December 2nd, when this whole kind of thing, so we have a newborn. This was 2 weeks after he was born, back in December 2nd of 2024. It was 2:00 in the morning. Right before that, we were up in the middle of the night, and I'm talking to my wife about doing a meme coin, like being a token founder. And she started brainstorming with me. I mean, it was instant. I don't know if she was just groggy and didn't know what she was saying, but she was on board.
That's
right?
fantastic.
and Florida Man Landscaping is her name. I mean, she came up with it. So all of this stuff is instrumental. It pretty much all goes back to, the lady behind me and then Kendall. Truly, I've just been the willing guy to run forward with it. But ultimately, that's how it started. And so the only question was, how do I approach Kendall, our landscaper, on it? And at this point, understand Kendall has refrigerator rights. And if you don't know what that means that Kendall can come into our house. Our dog, which is a beast, won't do anything. He can walk right in, open up our refrigerator, pull out whatever he wants, and nobody's going to care. As a matter of fact, the twins, who are 5, would probably just run up to him and give him a big hug. He's been in my backyard when I've been away, mowing, well, not mowing, eating figs, mouthful of figs. I walked in the backyard, like, I know Kendall's here, but I don't hear a mower. And I go back and he's eating, like my little brother going, hey, these are great.
Hey.
You want some? And I'm like, I don't want any of my figs. Right. And he's stuffing his pockets full of them because he's family. There's no other way to say it. He's family. And that was built through our camaraderie, built through our transactions on the blockchain. And all of it is recorded. And that's where it hit me. We have the actual inverse story of the Bitcoin pizza story. So instead of like you could say these week after week where I'm paying for lawn care, it's the most expensive lawn care in the history of lawn care. And at some point it will be, but it shows that this commerce has been taking place for years. Even though it may not be mainstream, we're already doing it. He's already profiting from it. So I went out to talk to him and it was December 2nd. And I said, hey, I want to talk to you. It was Monday, right after he was done mowing. I walked out of my house and said, hey, can I talk to you? He was in his truck. And I said, I've got this idea I want to pitch you. And it's not abnormal because we've talked about crypto lots of times at this point. He turned me on to Jasmine and changed our portfolio completely. Huge upswing for that. But that's just how our relationship became all about crypto and digital investments and how to actually maximize on what's this massive transformation of wealth and power that's happening in the world. Like, let's be on the front end of that. And so he gets out of his truck December 2nd, 3 months ago, and pulls out his phone and he says, I've been mowing your lawn for free. And I said, no, you haven't been mowing. I've been paying you. And he's like, no, I haven't spent a single XRP. And he showed me what, on average, it's not even a full every other week. It's almost like once every 3 weeks at $70 a pop that he's put into XRP. And it is worth more than some people make in a year. And it was put together in less than 18 months. And it just overwhelmed me. He was emotional. I was emotional. And I said, this has to get out. We got to get this out because, this was like during this huge, nobody knew what was going to happen in the future. We didn't have any of this good news about crypto. It was just like, people need to understand this is real. And what's real? It's the perfect story of wisdom. Slowly, DCA, investments over time, little bits matter, a little tiny bit. The cost of paying somebody to mow your yard, if that's invested every other week over a year and a half, he's turned a little bit into multiples of tens of thousands of dollars, right? Yeah. And so less than 12 days later, we brought it to market and we stood up FML. And it has been no sleep since then. But the team that we've surrounded around us is top shelf. All of us are doxxed. We're all available. Kendall wasn't even on social media. And he's like, okay, I'll get on X. You can talk to him. My wife wasn't on X. It's like, we got to do this. She's now on X. So all of it is basically this amalgamation of all of this energy coming together into one spot. And we are a top first ledger coin. We've been actually live for just since Valentine's Day. We refused to do any marketing or really talk about it at all because we wanted to set up the back end for what's really coming. And what's really coming is a national franchise back end business built on the XRPL that'll be turnkey with a subscription fee that all you have to do is sign up to FML. And for a small little holding, you can get a discount. So say you own $100 worth of FML one time, you buy it. You just have to maintain that for the rest of your life. You get a discount on the subscription. If you're a customer of any of those companies that have that, whether you're a owner, operator, whatever, if you own FML, then you get a discount. And there's zero cost essentially for transactions within that DeFi environment. DeFi meaning decentralized finance, right? So this whole thing was to set up for everybody that we know, friends and family, people that we meet. Kendall's got all kinds of brick and mortar businesses all over Florida that are, kind of essentially clamoring to have us hang our banners in their lobbies, in their showroom. So that's happening Friday or Monday. We're going to go hang a banner up in a business that's got our QR code on it. And it's a meme. It's a literal meme. Some of you have seen it. It says, Get in, brother, we're mowing and growing. So their
Ah.
banner that we're hanging up is a literal meme that has our QR code down on the bottom and their logo right above it. Right? It's a meme. We're hanging up a meme as an advertisement. And that's the entire thing that we wanted to do with FML, is use the meme coin to build all the advertising over the course of time in preparation for an actual legitimate brick and mortar business. So we launched our LLC. We're licensed in the state of Florida. We're already working towards the coding. I got several people working on it now, so we can actually start standing up the actual thing and remove the technical barrier to entry for anybody that's out there that wants to have a small business, or if you're a trucker, my son's a trucker, and you want to do business for yourself, FML will be a way. And that's the whole purpose, is to get in now, because here's the key. If you own FML and we onboard 1,000 companies at $100 per company, to get the discount for the subscription of the service, you have to own the coin. It's also a loyalty program within the system. What is that going to do to everybody that buys in now? If we keep onboarding, right? And so that's the idea. The whole purpose was to give a safe spot where everybody that's in it so far, they know who I am, my reputation. I've given it away from the very beginning. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can see that everything I'm telling you is backed up. Willing to put my reputation and everything on the line to draw a line in the sand and show the world through people like you guys, people like Stone, Melissa, and Simon, people like Optimistic Prime. I'm not supposed to call you Amanda, so I won't call you Amanda.
but you're actually you're so we had last week's show was about mematics and using memes as a means of advertising and branding, and so you seem to be doing something similar. That, say, Doge, for example, when Doge came out, it was just a meme until it wasn't. And so they built the reputation, the funness of it. They got a lot of people into crypto because of it. And now they're starting to use it for other things.
Right.
And so it seems as though you were doing something very similar, getting your advertising out there in a very fun way, building your community. And then boom, the people that are on board at the entry level of all of this, as you actually build this real world business,
that's right,
are going to benefit from it. And even the folks that are going to come in later are going to benefit from it as well. So, I mean, that is solid, in my opinion.
He's left out so much. I want to just grab the microphone. Let me tell you about your project. Are you kidding me?
Tell me about my project. Simon, you were going to say something, but go ahead, Stone.
Oh, I'm
you
sorry.
It's all right. It's all right.
One thing I want to say. Can we get can we get Kendall in here? I was going to send him, and I see that Greg is also backstage, but if Kendall would come, I think he'd be great. Kendall does have a link.
Kendall, it's on our Telegram page. Shauna put it there. So the expectation is that if you're watching this, you should jump in.
Oh, thank you very much. Okay, I tried to reach out in the chat to see. Also, before we go on, I just want to say hello. We have 148 people watching. I saw Uncle Buster, Fuma Boys are in here. Mr. Zam's in here. Susan's here. Scotty J. Marvin Davis, We the Bank.
Wow.
Lots of people came in to see you guys. Of course, we have Susan Roblin here. Team Green Carpet Cleaning came to support you. Thank you guys for coming. Please share this out. 145 people. Like, share, and subscribe. We're almost to 600 people on YouTube now. We hit 589 during the meme.
I was there.
When Uga, you were there, my friend. And I appreciate that so much. It was a fun show. But so back to one other thing that I want to say before we carry on. I want to give a shout out to Shauna, because most of us in the crypto space, the spouse or significant other doesn't, they have no interest in learning. Like my Ryan is, he's just trusting me he doesn't have a lot of interest in digging any deeper than the things that I say. He doesn't watch the Dipito show. I think he's heard enough of of me talking about things that he doesn't feel the need to watch the show either, you know. And so it is a unique spouse, a significant other, lover, friend, whatever, to actually support you. And I want to give you kudos for respecting the fact that you went outside of an agreement and owning it. And then that's probably what maybe got her to come around. But I just want to say that is fantastic. I love to see that. That's very solid. And Shauna, you're fantastic. Good for you. This is going to be a benefit for your future forever and ever more. But yeah, how fantastic is that? And I would love to meet you, Shauna. And we have Kendall in here. Let's bring him in. Welcome to Dipito, Kendall.
Look at that wild man.
What's up, brother?
I wasn't expecting to be here. I got my little things in. My girlfriend taught me how to make these.
There's the beautiful Shauna.
There's Shauna.
Shauna.
I can hear you.
Hi, Melissa.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Look, it's
Thank you
Kendall.
for joining us.
Hey, Mom, look at me.
I wear my sunglasses at night. Hi, Kendall.
He's got to look the part.
His future is so bright.
Huh?
His future is so bright.
I'm missing my hat.
Is at night.
Bye, guys.
Nice to meet
Good
you.
meet
Thank
you.
you
Nice,
very much.
nice to meet you.
We've also got Greg backstage, but he has his camera off. But as soon as he turns it on, I'm just gonna plop him in while we're talking. Oh, there he is. Let's get him in here. Let's get Gotta Be in here.
Stone's daddy.
Stone's daddy.
Stone's daddy. I was like, who's Stone's daddy?
Oh, okay.
You can't tell.
You know
Look
what?
at the haircut.
I need a loan, Dad. It's been.
Who do you think pays for that house behind you?
It's nice. Oh yeah.
$88 a month on the premium subscription.
That's funny. How
How's
you
everybody
doing? Gotta be.
Oh, so good. So blessed, man. Way
Man,
more than I deserve.
We are so jealous. Amanda and I were loving the fact that you and James Ray were having such a good time.
He's
Man,
such a good guy.
We're so jealous. Like, I can't wait to go to Australia and meet that man.
Like, everybody's asking, like, well, what'd you go out and do, and what'd you get to see? And I was like,
His living
that wasn't why I went. I just
right. That's what I was saying. I'm like, I don't
Okay.
know. Saw the airport and his backyard. We grilled out. That's what I would want to do too.
Spent some time with his daughter. Yeah, it was a good
You
time.
did get to see a waterfall. I saw a cool waterfall picture.
Yeah, we did a one-day track through one of the rainforests there, and took his daughter with the stroller, and it was literally up the side of a mountain, and we were just switching off back and forth, pushing that stroller straight up that hill.
That is so awesome. That's so cool. Yeah, good for you guys. Was that the first time you met in person?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. For those of you that don't know Gotta Be, he's actually not my daddy, but plays his cards right. He could be, yeah. But he is a very prominent ledger leader, and I gotta say, I don't think anybody shows up to more events than me I didn't think so until I met Gotta Be, and I was like, everywhere I went, he was already there, and I'm like, there's someone more involved with the XRP ledger. And then the more I learned about him, I'm like, I knew all about your projects before I realized it was you, you know? So it was weird that like I came in ass backwards and like learned about like just this completely generous, giving person constantly. Like, spend some time with him in the Twitch Marbles room, and he'll probably gift you a subscription without even knowing you, you know? And like, just always encouraging XRP projects and karaoke and like
so fun.
Valid discussions about builders. Like, I just can't say enough good things about you.
I'll tell you, Stone, that means that the places that you're going to are the right places, because I've spent the last 5 years trying to find the best people in this space and support them. So if I'm already there, then you're definitely in the right space.
I can appreciate that.
Well, we appreciate you coming on Dip a Toe. That means we're
Absolutely.
part of your people, and I love it. I'm so thankful to have met all of you. This has turned out to be a fantastic show. We have 162 people watching, and Amanda says, "Oh my God, this panel is exciting! Like, I can't believe we have all these people on." Of course, we got FML Kendall in the middle with the awesome sunglasses, beard, and necklace. I mean, like, can it get any cooler than that? Is what I want to know right now.
So cool.
Kendall, I want to ask you. So he's kind of been telling out the story. Stone seems to think that he has left out a ton of stuff about the FML story. So do you have anything to add? What did he leave out?
Well,
Don't put him on the spot like that. I hate to put people on the spot like that. You might not have been paying attention. Let me tell you. Tell us about the billboard bounty. Tell us about that idea. Tell us about standing behind the truck and or your equipment and explaining to different people what you're doing and literally onboarding them in real time. Like, tell us about your daily experiences.
It's been cool because our partnership started around landscaping. Landscaping is something that connects everyone. We're all here on Earth. The thing that's been most left out is the amount of support and magic that has come from outside of Justin and I. Since this project has begun, we've, just been blessed with the best people coming into our discussions. Stone being one of them. The billboard was originally Justin Jay's idea from the beginning, and he wanted to do a billboard. And a lot of people don't understand why somebody would want to do a billboard in the meme coin crypto space. It really doesn't make sense, right? What does make sense about it is that we're here committing to it in real life, and we're also doing what we say we're going to do. And a lot of that comes from Jay. But when we first said we were going to do it, Stone said, "Hey, I want to see a picture of that. Somebody go get a picture for me, and we're going to make it worth your time." And that was the spark that led to a national billboard hunt that we're now putting on. Every week, one billboard is lit up for 1 hour in the USA, lower 48 states. And if you take a picture in front of it, then you get some merch from us and a special allocation as a treasure hunt winner in the FML community, So it's we are having fun with it, and we are doing things a little bit differently, and we are listening to people who come into our community and have fun and excitement and want to, help make it more fun and more exciting. So that's been the greatest blessing is having other characters and personalities become Florida Man landscapers themselves and want to make the world a better place and a more fun place, and a place where we can connect and grow and do the whole thing with the Web3, but together.
I would love to see one of those billboards in person. You'll have to, hopefully we could get one in Michigan sometime. We're kind of far away from Florida, but man,
they're
to
everywhere.
have one in Michigan would be fantastic. And I would go drive to take a picture of it or a
we
video.
have one planned for Michigan. I can't tell you where though.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes. Every state in the lower 48. Yep.
So now, can I ask a question? So the billboards themselves are an advertisement of the meme for FML, and does it have the scan on it so people could scan it if they wanted to, or no?
You want to field that one, Kendall, or you want me to?
Sure. The billboard flashes pretty quickly. We don't expect a lot of foot traffic to be able to scan the QR code. And honestly, billboards apparently don't like for you to have QR codes on their advertisements. Oh. So what we wanted to do was put the image out there and, build something around it that also built success. So we don't expect people to be, we don't expect the billboards necessarily drive our sales. We just expect them to further legitimize what we're doing. And, again, with the, kind of co-creation that's been going on and the magic that's been surrounding this project since the beginning, we now have a year-long national hunt that's, coming to every state. So we have a long-term plan. Yeah, it's a really fun idea, and it's nobody's idea. It's no one person's idea, and that's how this project started. It started as the cumulative energy, like Jay was saying, between a handful of people. So everybody's been pitching in and doing more than their part, which is really, just a blessing to be in a community that is inspiring for people to do that.
And you're planting seeds all over because, just like they
Exactly.
do with the commercials and the songs and the TVs and the images, flashing these images all over, eventually somebody is going to be going somewhere. They're going to be like, I saw that somewhere else, right?
You have to be
like you're doing with the meme green stone. It is
Right, exactly.
You're subtly putting it in the minds of the population with hopes that it'll become so familiar that when you're ready to rip, they're going to be like, oh yeah, I saw that a long time ago.
Right. So a long time ago, a sibling, my brother Rock, he, in the middle of an argument, he used it to kind of, I don't know, he was trying to say it in a derogatory way, but he said, Stone always plays the long game. And I do. I always play the long game. And a lot of people don't have the same perspective as me of what that means. And when you ask someone, when they say I've been here a long time, or I plan on being here a long time, or you have to ask them what their frame of reference of long is. Some people will claim to have been in a long relationship and have, maybe that was a year, maybe that was 50 years, right? It matters. Using the word long and long-term vision, they go a long way with the right people that have that same vision. And short-time people want immediate gratification, and they're gonna gravitate towards that type of behavior and those type of people. The people that are in it for the long run understand that a little bit of effort every day, compounding interest over time, it builds something great. And I'm in the business of selling trust. You can't sell trust overnight. It doesn't happen. And if it does, you're going to get burned. So I had to cement myself in the middle of the ledger and just let shit go by, right? Some of it at warp speed, some of it slow, but what sticks is solid. And I wanted to be that thing that stuck. And the things that stuck around me, the things that are built around me are going to protect me. I want to be the center. I want to be the cornerstone of this movement. Right? There's a lot of people building in a lot of different directions that have been here a long time. Gotta Be can attest to that. But a lot of people were building in a lot of different directions and not even communicating with one another. There was a lot of competition. So the things you were building, you didn't want someone else to build. Everything's brand new. And what that created was an atmosphere of builders building in the dark. They didn't trust influencers, because influencers, all they do is front run bags. That's how crypto got a bad name. So what was the answer that I was seeking? I want trust in the ledger. I want a place where I can go do some research and actually be able to understand what the person's saying to be true. And I couldn't find that because I didn't know anybody. I didn't know any of these people, but developers would talk to me. I have a background of communication. I have a background of leadership. So these people would recognize, okay, and they would talk to me, but how do I get them to talk to somebody else? There wasn't anything. So that's why I decided to be the best thing I know how to be. And that's consistent to a fault. And it can cause problems with people that aren't used to consistency. But what it can do is bring people that crave it to you. And the people that crave consistency tend to have a longer vision than a year. a longer vision than 2 years. They tend to have a history of understanding that time carries on no matter your decision. Whether you believed in a thing or not, that thing built and did its own thing, right? So why don't you position yourself in a place that you can build, and you can build something that's going to last? Well, you need people. People are the ones that you can't create new people. You can't create smart people. You can't create trustworthy people. You have to find them. And the only way to find them is to be somewhere. Be somewhere every day at the same time, so that people will hear from other people that they can go to this place and this person will know somebody that can answer your problem. There wasn't that thing. I couldn't find it. So that's what I built. And that's what
and what you've built is fantastic. And for those that are watching, that there's 180 people watching tonight. And there's a lot of dip-a-toers that stumble onto this channel, and they might not know what we're talking about, other than they know we talk about cryptocurrency, digital assets in this space. This conversation is fire for those of you that don't understand crypto, or you haven't really dipped your toe too much into it. This is an example of the people that are working in the crypto space right now, not the folks that they show you on the television with the rug pulls and all the bad stuff that's happening, not the influencers that are screaming at the top of their lungs that you should buy this token right now, and give you the FOMO. There are people in this community that are working together to build something, to make a better world. We have the opportunity of a lifetime right now with the changing of the financial system, things going digital sovereignty, all of these things. If you are interested in crypto at all, go stop by Coffee and Crypto in the Morning with Stone, 9 a.m., 9 to 11 on X. You can find it. If you follow us, Simon or I, on Twitter or X, you should be able to find Stone easily. Or you watch this program, and the different people that we interview on here are people that are building. We've interviewed Arc Institute, Greg Gottaby, right down there in the bottom left corner. There are wonderful people that are building on here, and so I just want those that aren't fluent in this space to realize what you're watching, what you're listening to, and understand that there are fantastic people, and we've all gravitated towards one another. And so I just want to give kudos to all of you. Daddy Mark and Zach and Zay are in here, and he gave us a little prayer a couple shows ago and blessed our show, and it was just fantastic. And these are the kind of people that come to the Dip a Toe show. So thank you guys, and thank you guys for coming at the last minute, because this is a fantastic conversation. So keep on.
Can I do a quick shout out? So
absolutely.
So I met my partner. We were talking about partners. We were talking about wives. Amanda _XRPL. We share the same last name on X. Stone _XRPL. And having a woman or having a partner that has your back when it comes to 18-hour days, impromptu YouTube videos, right? Curtain calls, phone calls, people asking for advice in the middle of the night or first thing in the morning for most people. Having that support system that understands that you have to be there for other people right now, that this is a time of building. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity for mankind, really, if you really want to get into the weeds of it. The future of finance is literally turning on its head right now. And the people that are building, what's up, Optimistic Prime? The people that are building right now are the future. We're building the infrastructure that everybody is going to play on, whether it be from charity work to recycling to multimedia. And these notebooks were given to me by that support system, because I was constantly I was constantly interviewing these people and coming up with these different ideas and different projects, and they were coming so fast that I needed lists. I needed something to really capture what everybody's building. And you would not believe, just in the span of, I don't know, since September, however long that's been, the list of builders, real builders, builders of community, builders of problem solving devices that were never even thought of. And that's all because of the support system, not only of my significant other, but of all of you guys, and the attention that that Coffee and Crypto Stone has generated across the ledger. Like, Optimistic Prime jumped in here, and I hope she's going to talk about Uga. If you think about community as a utility, as a vibration, as a society, that's why she's so inspired, you know. And if you followed Optimistic Prime for any amount of time, you understand that it's much bigger than money. Money is just this thing that right now we're using to connect us, but the long game is community. And the people that you run into right now, the people that are solving these problems, are the people you need to pay attention to. And when you invest in projects, or you even look at spending your time in a project, look at the people that are behind it and the things they're saying and how consistently they're doing it. Because it's real easy to be there for a year. Yeah. What about 2 years? What about Gotta Be? How long you've been here, Gotta Be? How long you've been building without any support or any help? These are the people you got to pay attention to, not the people with all the flashy colors and lights and yelling the loudest, right? Anyway, go ahead, Optimistic Prime. You jumped in, so we need to hear from you. Welcome.
Thank you so much. There's a council meeting for the UGAs tonight, and I let them know, like, this is really bad for me, but I guess it's like the one night that they can all make it because they come here half the time now too. So ironically, I was jumping between there and here, and so I listened to the first half an hour. I missed a little bit of the end of the story of Jay, but it's so nice to see Kendall. So nice to see your face, and Greg, obviously, Stone. It's just, it's really special. And, for me, the first thing, as soon as I learned about what Jay was doing, I was like, about Greg, right? Like, about ARC, about how they support a charity that supports kids. Like, I was like, I don't know where you want to go with this, but it seems like pretty aligned. So, and then he was like, oh, maybe in the future. And then I wrote Kendall. I was like, hey, you know about Greg? He has this charity that supports kids, and they go around and give kids lawnmowers. I think that's pretty aligned in terms of like what you want to create, and having like, these lawnmower companies everywhere. Like, how cool would it be if that was what these kids got to see through their, experience, and being like, whoa, what do you mean I get to be like as cool as Kendall? I want to be as cool as Kendall. So yeah, it's just really cool to see you all up on the stage, and then to hear Stone, you guys talk about how when you were in Stone Space and how Stone inspired these billboards. Like, what is happening, guys? It's so serendipitous. And this is why, like, you guys are talking about the community and stuff. Like, it's just so, to have been here for 5 years, like, I've been talking a lot more about like the journey here for myself. And 4 a.m. the other night, Banana was asking me about like what it's like to code my own token, and how I've learned these little nuances about how to not put all your tokens in an AMM right off the hop and get screwed by the bots. And the experience I've had has been completely alone too. And so to be here and meet Greg last year and just be like, what, like, there are people that are building good things, like I get to know them, like when they get to know me, it's just been like the most surreal thing. And then like, I stepped away from crypto all summer. I mean, it's 5 years of, being insignificant and spending all your money on something that people are just taking tens of thousands of dollars and liquidating people left, right, and center. And here I am, the little mouse in the corner, screaming from the rooftops, like, I have door number 2. And so to, then all of a sudden sort of come back through dip a toe. It was Melissa that really, got me back. And by doing that interview, it was like, oh, thanks. Thanks for paying attention to me. And then Simon started working nights. And so to be able to be invited to come into the show and be here more and learn more about who's going on. And then being like, Melissa, do you know this person? Do you know this person? Like I'm hanging out. And so, it was through being in Dip a Toe that I ended up in Stone Space. And then, when Stone was like, do you want to come up? And because it's hard to show yourself, especially when you are somebody who's not about money. I'm not trying to sell you stuff. I'm trying to sell you a dream of you being the hero
That's
of
why
your
you're
own
a co-host now. Because you
Thanks.
don't sell. You don't sell. You don't. And that's great. And that's why everybody loves you. You're not trying to sell them on a token. You're explaining your vision and welcoming them to join you. That's what it is. That's why it's contagious.
Thanks. Like, what you say, like, I'm not a business person because money's never been the compeller, but I recognize that, it's not the love of money, but money does do a lot of things. And, when you want to create an LLC and you want to create a trust to hold that LLC and you want to create a charity and you want to do the right thing and follow the rule of law and, make sure your kids are, protected in the future. Like these things cost money. And so, one of the things that I could never do is I could never apply for grants. I could never ask for money that I needed to pay back or that it would associate me with the problem. That was the ultimate thing for me, is that I was like, how do I go ahead without associating myself, without relying on the very thing that I'm trying to get everybody out of the system, And so it's been so slow, and just to come into this space and be able to be on Stone's show. And, it really means a lot to me when there's the co-host space is still there. And I'm like, okay, I'll come in. Thanks. Me half asleep, my kid's screaming in my ear in bed like this morning. And, it's just really special. And then to like build these relationships and then have you, Kendall, and you, Jay, like, the fact that this story about how me from TikTok. I can't believe I'm part of the story of FML. It's just such a unique and what a privilege, what an honor. And I've always said that the greatest gift that you can give somebody is to go in their story. And, if they can talk, if they talk about you again in their life and they tell a story about their life and you come up, like that is truly the greatest gift you could give somebody. And, it comes back to the whole written in stone thing, the fact that we really are so early. And I was telling to Chad the other day, Chad Smith, he's Phoenix Unchained. He's the blue collar dollar that I tell you all about. Mm-hmm. And, he can't be around. He's like, I want to get into Stone Space, but I'm at work. I'm like, it's okay. Like all in divine timing. I'm building these relationships over here. You're doing your shit over there. Don't worry. I'm going to connect you with all these people. Like, it's okay. And we tell when either of us are feeling stressed, we just say, listen, we're just so early. That's why it's so complicated. That's why it's so hard. That's why it feels like everybody's against you, because there's just nobody there, and like, we're just building all these things. It's just so crazy to imagine we're so early. It feels like we're so late because of Bitcoin, because of Ethereum, because of all these, ups and downs that we've witnessed over the years. But I've been here for 5 years, and like it's crazy. 5 years ago, I thought I was late 5 years ago. So it's just the craziest experience. And I just feel so honored. I had to come in, and I was missing my council meeting, and it's like my first council meeting. And I'm sorry, I got to go. I want to put my face on the screen with these beautiful people and Melissa and these beautiful men. You're all, Simon is that, you represent the masculine energy in the Dip a Toe space. And these men that are here are representation of everything that the Dip a Toe space is. It's really about finding the people that you can trust. And like Stone said, he's not selling trust. He's trying to make, internet of value. One of the things I'll leave on this and let y'all talk after, that the internet, what I'm finding so fascinating is that when I started hearing about the internet of value and all this, I got really scared because I know who's in charge of these things. And what I'm finding is the internet of value turns out to be a lot different than I thought it would be. And I think that it's also going to be the same for the people who would, the deletes. I fondly call them the deletes. And it's because what the internet of value is trust. is community, is relationships, is taking the time, is the long-term vision. It's not an instant gratification thing. It's there, set in stone on the blockchain forevermore. You know, breaker of chains, builder of blocks. And so, yeah, deeply honored to be here. And thanks, Melissa. She's like, you don't have to come on, but I saw my face on the thing. I was like, dude, I'm supposed to be on tonight. I was like, well, I got to show up. Then
I automatically added you. It's like because you were in the space. I
Smart
heard you
move.
there. And I like, yeah, I have her picture ready to go, so I plopped it in there.
There you go.
Yeah, and shout out to Niall. We were on that space earlier. Shout out to Niall and Rob and Fitzy, and they're launching their Protectors of the Ledger today, which Kendall and Jay are in this one. And I just saw Toasties is in there, and a few Susan Roblin, you know, a co-founder of the Wandering Footprint. So shout out to them that this is happening. So there's like literally 3 places I'm supposed to be right now, and I'm just like, I love being loved.
I'm glad you brought up Niall and that space we were just in, because I think he would be here. And for those of you that don't quite understand, or you're not into the Web3 yet, maybe you're not on X, you haven't found your people, you don't quite understand, create a Twitter account. It's called X now, and come to Coffee and Crypto with Stone at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard, and just spend 2 hours listening. If you don't want to be there for that 2 hours, they're all recorded. Thanks to Optimistic Prime. In the very beginning, I started clicking highlight, add to highlight. So now you don't even have to scroll through the timeline. You just go to the highlight. Yep. I was like, all right, I can do that. I mean, we were only on like the 30th show or something. It was early, right? Like 15th show. I don't know. So we went back through there, or she was complaining. That's what it was. She was compiling a list, and she was like, if you guys could just all highlight these, it would make it a lot easier on me. And I'm like, I can do that. I can do that. So,
yeah, and that's a good reminder for everybody. If you have content that, if you're like me, or you're a truther and you're like posting truth and shit, but your stuff, your personal stuff, put it in highlights so that people can go and look at your highlights and actually see who you are.
And so you would meet Niall. You would already know about the future of entertainment if you came to Coffee and Crypto with Stone, because he is a staple there as well. He made my intro. Oh, I should play it. I always want to play it.
We've interviewed him a couple of times on the show, and I did send him a link, and he said if he has time, he'll pop in.
He is doing a stream right now as well. He's in a space selling his NFTs, tokenizing his advertising revenue. I know we don't have time to get into that here, but it's pretty amazing. It's pretty groundbreaking. And maybe some of you have heard of MTV and what it used to be with their advertising content back then was around 10 million a month. That was their ad revenue. And that was just cable. This is streaming. That was just cable in America. This is streaming to 22 countries right now. And it's brand new. Like, it's like finding Netflix before anybody, but when everybody was still using Redbox, you know, or when everybody was still at Blockbuster, all of a sudden you stumbled across Netflix and tried to explain it to your neighbor, and he thought you were crazy. That's where we're at. That's the time we're living in right now. And you can meet him. He comes to my show every day, Monday through Friday.
And he's been on Dipito twice. We've had IMUTV, and Dipito happens to be the first content creators on IMUTV, streaming to 22 different countries. What an awesome honor that is, guys.
We should try to get Amanda on.
Huge.
I did send Amanda a link, and I won't tell you what she told me she's doing right now at the moment.
Oh, tell me. I love it when you tell me. I'll tell the whole world what she's doing right now. I can imagine.
She said, I'm laying naked under the red light.
Yep. Glowing. Red light therapy.
I wish there were 2 Amandas on at the same time.
He's going to start turning red from the neck up here. And see, there it goes.
I can turn mine on. She got me doing it too. She's like, well, if you're going to stare at those screens for freaking 16 hours a day, might as well. Oh, it's not plugged in.
Says that they've saved the show on their Roku. So yeah, for those of you who don't know, the IMU TV, they're on Roku and what is it? Amazon Fire and soon to be Apple TV. And all you have to do is download the app within the Roku, and boom. IMU TV is there. You can search for Dip a Toe. You can search for a variety of music artists that they have on there. And it is very much like the old school MTV. Very cool. Very cool.
If you have Discord and get a Protector NFT, you can go to a pretty cool concert this weekend.
I think you're in trouble now, Stone, because we got oh my God, I can't believe you said it out loud.
Oh my God.
Man,
I'm telling you, when she's glowing under those red lights. Did you
what so
I love their love. I do love their love.
K Buddy says, I spy with my little eye a community member's art piece above Gotta Be's head. Can you tell us about that art piece, Greg?
Yeah. This one or this one?
I don't know which one.
Both.
So this one I did when I was in Alaska.
Wow.
This one is
he's like, oh. Brain fart. I don't
put you on the spot.
Help me out, Kelly.
It'll come to you. It'll come to you. Don't write it in the
Kelly
comments.
did it.
Yeah.
Greg, who is the artist?
Right.
She's got an exclamation mark.
Molly Elmore.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh, Niall is here. He's in the comments.
Yes, he is. Yeah. He's been here. He's been chatting back and forth.
I didn't have these comments open. I see now.
Yeah.
Amanda said she posted about coffee and crypto above. Nice.
So I want to get back with FML, talking a little bit more about what else you guys are doing. Your story really resonated with me, Jay, with someone being like absolutely against crypto to start with, and then coming to the realization that, oh, wow, this is actually something, because I too knew about it a long time ago. My son, when it was Bitcoin, and, Mom, I want to buy Bitcoin. And I was like, absolutely not. You're not buying that. That's, go, no, not doing it. And then, years down the road, I'm thinking, holy smokes, if I would have known. But, we never know these things back then. The advantage that we have when it comes to XRP and some of these other projects is that we've got to see the Bitcoiners, what they've gone through. Because, there was a time where you could buy a boatload of Bitcoin for next to nothing. Mm-hmm. And a lot of those people lost it. They didn't know what they held. We didn't know. No one knew at the time. But with all of the research that's happened, as far as XRP, like all the connections that they have, it's pretty clear to me that they're going to be sticking around, right? So I just wondered, like, why XRP? First of all, for you guys, why did that one stick out when none of the other ones did to you?
So the trusted source that came to me and was pushing it on me, he was pushing XRP. That was the one that he was pushing. And all I heard was crypto. All I knew of crypto was Bitcoin. And so it didn't even resonate with me until the meeting that I actually heard the same term that he was using with me. So XRP really was the entryway to my research. And all I could find was just utility after utility, contract after contract, promise after promise of all of these things that it was going to do. So, in all transparency, it looks like Bitcoin is going to be one of the digital reserve currencies. I think we're all waiting for a final confirmation on that and actually how it all works out. But I don't own any because it's kind of a carryover from before. If it doesn't do anything, then for me, it doesn't have any value. However, as a store of value and everything else that it is, obviously there's value there. Not discounting anybody's investment strategies. I just don't own any of it. We own a lot of meme coins and other, in other venues through the XRPL. So for me, it was just the utility and the contracts and everything that I saw that the Ripple team was doing. And the one thing that really kind of solidified it for me that I had made the right choice was all of the negativity.
Yes.
Don't look here, but it
Yes.
was the coordinated coming from every angle and just, kind of being awake enough to see the matrix for what it is, whatever you want to call it, the propaganda machine, the zeitgeist. We've learned that there is a coordinated effort to get humanity to look one way by way of TV versus the other way. And, thankful to my wife, can't say enough about her, but we took our TV down a long time ago. So not influenced by that at all. And just really hours of doing our own research led me to utility tokens. And it was through the XRPL that I jumped back away from utility tokens into this. But again, it comes back to FML is all about utility. Yeah. We just have to get there first. We have to build it, right? You can't buy it. We got to build it. So,
but you actually got, like, when you were working and your boss, when you had he gave such a strong reaction, or he or she gave a strong reaction to you just even calling it crypto and flipping out.
It was a joke. Yeah. And he lost his marbles over it.
Just because so would you suspect that anybody else in that meeting probably weren't even connecting any dots, right? Because this is what I'm thinking. This is what I think it is going down over the past several years, where I've always said, like, the people that are going to start bringing the folks in, right? A lot of them were so far behind where we are with our research. They have no idea, and they weren't going to be taught until it was time to teach them, right? And so I kind of suspected that slowly things were being introduced, but they still didn't really know, right? Except for the ones that connected the dot, and you connected the dot because your friend had been telling you things, and you were kind of like lining it up, having that eureka moment. But it sounds like your boss wasn't ready for the rest of the people to understand that or make that connection.
I never followed up with him on his reaction. His reaction was so out of character that it forced me to go look again. And then it was through the person that I trusted and years worth of him working on me that it all kind of flooded to the surface. And we see a similar thing happening. The majority of the people that are in our ecosystem only have one token. It's FML. Like 80% of our holders only hold FML. And that's a testament to Kendall.
That's
because
incredible.
They know Kendall. Kendall's grandma might be the most sophisticated international superstar grandma in the history of international superstar. She's an international Forex trader. She's got an Etsy store. I mean, Kendall should be really the one doing this. We've got the coolest, most rad grandma in the history of it, right? All of that, like if she can do it, she found her way through Telegram to our Discord, right?
Wow.
My wife had never even heard of Discord until I said, we got to get on Discord now, right? And grandma's doing it. So it's very complex, very difficult, but even grandma can do it. And what we're seeing is, we have a lot of LEOs, so law enforcement, a lot of retired special forces, a lot of military.
Wow.
So really it's the people in our ecosystem that they don't do anything without trust. So they know us and they trust us. And it's very similar to when I first got into crypto. I didn't really know anything about it other than a little bit of research, and trusted the person that was getting me into it. Then when the news came and kind of connected the dots in my mind, which was a shock, then I really started doing the research. But I bought in and then really, really dug into it because I trusted the person go grandma, that came with the news. And that's what we're seeing. We're experiencing it. So we have people that got in, people that didn't know how, they didn't have a Coinbase. They didn't have an Uphold. They don't know anything about a DEX. They don't know anything about Telegram. They don't know anything about anything relative to crypto. And we're like, go to this website. You've got to take these steps. Let's make some videos. There's some videos, instructional videos that are out there. But really, it's all that trust paradigm. And that's what it's all about. I mean, that's who the people are that are here tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I always say that it's our job to teach people about the trust, because we're going to the decentralized system, right? But it's a scary thing to think about. And, most people are terrified of doing anything for themselves when it comes to money, holding their own assets and that sort of thing. Or, we've been trained to think that we're going to get hacked. So the ideal of being chipped, all of these things. And it's like, I think a lot of people don't realize that we are already in the world. We're living currently in the world that they're parroting and telling you for you to be afraid of, right? We're already chipped through our phone. We have been for a long time. We took it willingly. We already went to social medias and put our whole life story on there and shared and answered stupid questions when they came around. What's your first dog's name? What's this?
Right.
What's that? We answered all those types of questions. And so we are the ones that have to get people comfortable with taking on responsibility. Simon and I always say crypto is not for sissies, because you have to do your own research. You have to take responsibility for your money. You have to learn about money. You have to take responsibility for it. And so I think it's fantastic what you're building. If somebody wants to buy FML, how do they do that?
Can I just ask a quick question?
Sure.
What I just wanted to clarify, do you think that he was angry that you were calling it crypto and not like a digital asset? Or like, what do you have any idea of like what the anger was? And I also wanted to say there's a word for when you're like, pay attention here, but not over here. And it's prestidigitation.
Ooh. I have not heard that before.
That was a word my biological father taught me after I met him when I was 30. I was like, that's interesting.
That's awesome. I think that he got upset because I was distracting the room on something very important. We were behind, and that it could rat hole the meeting. That it felt to me, and again, I didn't unpack it with him. I didn't ever follow up, but it felt to me as though he knew that I was onto something more than what everybody else in the room was. It wasn't just another IT project, but it was something bigger coming. And that he did not want that discussed at all.
Now that we're talking about the ISO 2022 thing, what is your take on, I see a lot of people on X. There's this huge debate over XRP is not ISO. The coins are not ISO 2022. And it's nothing. It's insignificant. It means nothing. Well, it sounds like it means quite a bit, given where you were working and the reaction that you got when you even mentioned crypto. But I'm wondering, what is your take on the whole ISO 2022? For those that don't know what that is, that's a standard. But what does that mean to you?
So what it means to me is regulatory standards that are set up for compliance. There's three of them that are the major ones, but if you look at it from this perspective, I can make it so everybody can understand it very easily.
Thank you.
In the back end of everything, whether you've got an Android or an Apple, or whether you're on Linux, or whether you're on DOS, or whether iOS, whatever it may be, we all share memes, we all share pictures, we all share text messages, right? We've seen how if you're on an Apple phone and you text somebody that's on an Android, it might be a different color, blue or green, so there's a little bit of those indicators out there. Very smart, Lisa. And thank you, by the way. So the behind the scenes in tech, there's something called FTP. It's File Transfer Protocol. So for all of these systems to talk and communicate, so that if I'm on an Apple and I want to send my wife who has an Android a picture, she doesn't have to have an Apple phone. right? Back in the day, that's the way it used to be.
Yes.
With technology. But in order to send emails or anything else where we communicate from one operating system to another, or one platform or one application to another, or how can I send something from WhatsApp to Instagram, or how can I send it from this application to something else? All of that is because there's a common language in the background. That's what FTP is. Well, what I understand XRP to be, and all of these regulatory things like MiCA and Basel III and ISO 222, those are all the things that are on the back end that make all of it work and run together and talk. And yeah, you're on live TV.
You might as well just come in.
Another FML rock star right there.
Huh?
Woo, woo. Oh, there's more things coming. She can be shy for the moment. So what it is for me, and the best way that I can describe it is how in my mind it works is, if you want to own some of that, if you want to be able to be paid, like how many millions of FTP files, how many times a day is an email sent across the world? How many pictures are sent a day? How many memes are sent a day? How many, all of it. I mean, all of that stuff has to follow a uniform back-end technology so that we can send it to other people that may not be using the same technology that we're using. And that's what XRPL is. That's what XRP does. That's what all of these requirements are, only they monetized it. So that's the value. You want to own a little tiny piece of all of these transactions. You want to be in that game. That's really what I see as far as being a part of this ecosystem, is you get to actually participate in all of it. So what it is, it's connectivity, technology, and regulations, so that all of the players in this space are playing by the same rules. Much like if you wanted to send an email and be an email carrier, you've got to be FTP compliant.
Kendall, which markets are we listed on? Shauna has posed that question in the chat.
We're on Dex Screener, First Ledger. I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah. And Shauna, can you drop the issuer address for everyone, is what Kristen would like. That way people can make sure they're getting the correct one.
How you can know too, for everybody that's out there that may be listening, there's a lot of FMLs, right? I know of 2. We have a copycat, and we might have more now. But as of yesterday, we had 2 on XRPL. But here's the way: if you go look at all of the other FMLs all over in the world, they don't have our market cap. So if you look for us and you're looking for an FML, look for one that's right around $1 million market cap. We're just getting started. So look for that. Wow,
that's incredible.
Just to let you know, Mel, if a moderator puts it into the chat, people can click on it. If you don't, if it's just a regular person, you can't. It doesn't become a clickable link. So if you do have like the xrpl.services, make sure to make a moderator put it in, and that way people can click on it and then go directly to it.
I see. Okay.
Is it the issuer wallet that ends with Q?
It is.
No. What a nice ring that has.
I like what you did there.
I'd like to just real quick say something about like the trust thing and about the everyday situations that lead to some onboarding. I was actually a little surprised to hear that Jay dropped some alpha. If anybody didn't catch it, we have a poster going up in a lawn repair and maintenance and sales shop. It's going up in the next few days. We haven't told anybody that other than our team. So that just broke here today. They have 3,000 customers come in a week. They're FML holders, but they've actually been helping me with my own mowers and sharpening my blades on a monthly basis. I've been going in there for a handful of years since I started my company doing landscaping 3 years ago. So I walked in a little bit after we had gotten started because, I wasn't going in there, to make a sale. I was going in there to get my blades sharpened. And Tony, the manager, and I were just talking, and I, just slipped the, you ever heard of crypto question. And, his first response was, I don't need any help losing my own money. And I said, hey, man, me neither. I'm pretty good at that, actually. But we got to talking, and he was interested because he'd been hearing about crypto forever. But I think we all remember that first person that got us into crypto and really like walked us through the steps. It's a challenging thing to do on your own, especially the first time. So once he learned that we had a project that was, sort of our own and new, he felt the opportunity there to be a part of something that he had, said no to for the last 10 years. So people aren't ready for something until they're ready, and we can, be there for them until they are. But, he made the decision then and there actually to download Coinbase after talking to me for 20 minutes. And then I stayed at his shop with him for 2 hours afterwards to make sure he was set up. And he couldn't even buy any FML because his Coinbase was locked until it was verified. So he pulled $300 cash out of his pocket and handed it to me and asked me to send him XRP so he could get involved. And that blew me away. I was not expecting that conversation to happen when I said, have you heard about crypto? But it wasn't the first time we talked. So, now him and I talk every week. He's asking me like what we're doing. When's the poster coming in? He's excited about it. He can't wait to have it in his shop and to be a part of the story. So, that's how, we're setting up our sales approach is, we're just talking to the people who we interact with, and we're doing business the way that you would if you were setting up a landscaping company.
Education and onboarding.
Yeah,
that's what it's all about. It's all about growing your network. It's no different than any other business.
There it is. Oh, thank you. Stone, what you just said there and what everybody should hear is, so the billboards right now, if you go look at them, they don't make any sense. Can't do a QR code because it's against the rules for people that are driving. It just isn't safe for people to, try to snap a picture of it. Right.
Yeah.
I had to learn that the hard way. After we created all the artwork, submitted it all, they came back, said, you can't do QR codes. I'm like, well, could you put that in the T's and C's, please? But in all actuality, Stone, you said what? Build a business. And this is what I love about the people that are on this stage is they're building something beyond the token. Right. And the token is just there to support the business. And so when you look at our billboards and you drive by them, nobody has a clue except the most hyper niche of the most hyper niche investment people on earth that have even heard of XRP, let alone XRP meme coins. Right. We're so far ahead, right? So people driving by, they're like, oh, it's a pretty picture. What does it mean? Right? So we put thank Baron like that. People are probably going to get that, but even still, what Baron who? Yeah. I've had people in our community ask in FML go, okay, so just tell me, what does thank Baron mean? And I laugh because they don't know. Right. And that's good. We're early, but at some point in the very near future, people driving by on the freeway are going to look up and see that FML billboard and they're going to know exactly what it means. And we won't change a thing. They're going to see the symbol of the X, which signifies the XRPL. They're going to see the CA. They're going to know that's the contact address. They don't need a QR code because all I got to do is take a picture of the billboard and they have every single piece of information they need. They've got our logo. They've got the ledger that it's on. They've got the contract address, and they'll be able to find us. Right. So in and of itself, it's kind of one of those things going back to that last letter, the 17th letter, future proofs past. Mm-hmm. So we are building it in such a way, and it's the only way that I know. And this is the only thing that I bring to the XRPL. I bring blue chip company business. That's it. That's all I know. I don't know crypto other than I want to own it. So we're learning. As a matter of fact, in our entire ecosystem, the biggest brain that knows the things about liquidity, that's learning about the coding, that's learning about all of it is Kendall. That's why I say Kendall's the furthest thing from the landscaper, but he's the guy that is teaching me, and it's one community that we're all working together to build it. So yes, it's built on memes. Memes are advertising, right?
Absolutely.
100%. Oh, don't get me started. Started. Hey, Kendall, Easy A. Kendall, Easy A. If you're learning, sign up for Easy A. I'll introduce you to Dom and Phil. We've had them on the show. anyone that's listening and you want to learn, Easy A. Follow Lady K. She's in here. She did it. What's the other one that Chris put out? What's the name of that one? Optimistic. Do you remember?
No,
he's got a course. You're talking about the one that created a course on.
Anyway, come to Coffee and Crypto, and we'll share the link up top.
I know Easy A.
Kristen says it's the XRPL boot camp.
Oh, there you go. Thank you, Kristen.
We're supposed to have the guys on from Easy A, but they're so busy right now. Like they, initially Dom was like, absolutely. And we were talking back and forth, and we were going to do the end of February, first part of March. And they were in Hong Kong. And then they said, oh, let me wait till we get back. Well, then their schedule is just exploding in March. And then, because when I first started talking to them, to be honest with you, I had no idea who they were. Like I've gotten so much where I just ask now. If someone says no big deal. I'm just gonna be bold, and I'm gonna ask because I think everybody should come on Dip a Toe Show, right?
Yeah.
And when he said yes, and we were talking back and forth, and I'm thinking, oh, it's cool. And then I downloaded the app, and then I started researching it more, and I was like, holy smokes, these guys are like super connected with every. And good for you, Kristen, for doing that. I started doing it from my phone, and I'm about 3/4 of the way through the XRP Ledger one. But my vision is just it's so hard. And I want to click out to every link because they give you fantastic source links with their education. So it really should be done for me on a computer than my phone. But the phone is very convenient for you to learn on. And but they've built quite an app. So for those of you who don't know, just search out Easy A, and you can learn about a lot of different blockchains on there. Super cool.
But focus on XRP Ledger.
I do want to say, while you guys are... Yeah, I mean, when it comes to Easy A, I was there before they released the rest of it, and I never went back. I was like, "Where's the rest of it?" It was like the first chapter. I'm like, I know this information, and then I never went back, and I got involved with everything else. But I did want to say something while you guys were talking about, when Stone said, "Don't get me started." I mean, yes, please get started. This is Dip a Toe, and explanations on how memes are going to evolve into advertising campaigns is awesome. But what I wanted to say is, since you talked about your coffee, I literally because I have the dream, I have the bus, right? I have to build that out. We have to pay that back, but we have to build out the bus so that we can travel all around North America and come meet all of you with my kids. That's my biggest dream. So I'm in the process of how do I build out Metatron and it not be made out of milk crates and pallets again. And then I have, all these other things going on, and wandering footprint and having the land and stuff. But I will tell you, since you talked about that coffee shop and that you're the sponsoring on the coffee shop, and you started talking about the idea of he in Coffee and Crypto has this crazy idea on the spot about how eventually you could have, and I'm scared of digital ID and all this crazy shit that they want to do with the blockchain, right? But he's and somebody could walk in, and if they have a project, it would change the board on the wall to that project. And so I was like, I want to walk into a coffee shop where it turns to the blue umbrella and says Amanda's here, Optimistic Prime is in the building. Yes, please. Yes. So they literally made this little strip mall just outside of the ferry, right? I live on an island, and everybody has to come through this ferry, and there's four kiosks left, right? And I keep thinking about how I wish there was a co-op for local artists, something like that right off the ferry where people pull in. And since you were talking about that, I was like, man, if I had $40,000, I don't know if I'd build out Metatron Bus. I'd make a coffee shop off the ferry and have it Coffee and Crypto, where Coffee and Crypto is played from 6 to 8. And then all the spaces are played at the same time. And you can come and you can get onboarded at the coffee shop. And I'm sitting there because I met James as a barista. That's how I met him. I walked into a coffee shop today and said, I will marry you. I was who are you and how are you in this tiny little town, and you are alone, and oh my gosh, I'm the luckiest girl. It took us 3 months to he had to walk across the street too before he went on a date. But when he's drunk, I was like, okay, fine, that's that. I will accept that is you asking me out on a date for showing up across the street, right? And and then here we are all these years later, and so like honestly, like I because we play the lottery, we have hope every day. So did we win it? We get to do the dreams. I mean, he wants a boat now, so I was like, we could have a boat at the marina where my dad lives. We could have this coffee shop just down the road, and we could just onboard people off the ferry. And they're tired and they need a break and they need to go pee, and so. I mean, I don't know. It's just like another one of those random crazy dreams, but it's really cool that, and if he hasn't talked about it yet, he should, and you should. But yeah, it's just like, it's amazing when you have like all these other people creating, and then you yourself are like, oh my God, how cool would it be to have coffee shops everywhere that had this energy feel to them, it's like, this kindness, and these are the people, and I mean, there's so much else to say, but I'll leave it there because Stone's going to take it away.
So there's a lot to unpack there. Do you want to talk about the future of advertisement, or you want me to talk about Bullish Cafe and Fluid X?
Well, it won't take you long to say
Yes.
Bullish Cafe, and then you can
Okay.
go into because that's exactly the same thing, pretty much.
So my company Tremera, we've been helping this project. These developers, I'm not going to dox them. It's hard for me not to use names, but they're building Fluid X, and they needed our assistance. So we started consulting with them on that, and we built a relationship like I tend to do with most people, and they're like, oh my God, like, can you be part of our team? So a consulting turned into a team building, turned into the other concept. So obviously I host Coffee and Crypto with Stone every day, very consistently. It draws in a lot of people that haven't had consistency in their life. And I'm an educator, not an influencer. All these things that really align with a lot of people's vision. And they were the same. And so they wanted to build a coffee shop called Bullish Cafe. And it's built, it's launched, it's on X. You can search for it. So they asked if I would be interested in something like that. And I said, absolutely. What do you have in mind? Jump in feet first, and then we'll talk about the plan. Do I get to build the walls? Right? Like how involved do you want me in this? And we don't have the documentation, but we have the structure, right? Bullish Cafe is going to be a Web3 marketplace where you are encouraged to meet and communicate, and you're rewarded with that energy through a token, through discounts, through different means of turning your energy and your time, your loyalty and your consistency into a tokenized form of a discount. So what does that mean? That means when you show up to the coffee shop every day and say hello to your patrons and share about your day, or share about something that you're doing, you're going to be rewarded for that communication through a token. That token is then going to be used to get discounts on the merchandise that you're going to purchase there. Obviously, we're going to sell coffee, whole coffee, gourmet coffee, everything that has to do with coffee. But inside of that is also, we're in a Web3 market now. That means you can click on my name and you can transfer funds in the blink of an eye. So imagine taking your Facebook market and putting it on the blockchain. Now you have access to be able to sell these digital things that you really couldn't sell before on the blockchain. Here's a perfect example. There's this thing called XRP Las Vegas, and it is one of the premier events to be at this year. In fact, if you're in our circle and you're not there, I feel sorry for you. I had hotel, tickets, airline, everything paid for Amanda and I. We're going to fly out there, have a great time, meet all of our friends. Well, my daughter's graduating this year, and it just so happens to fall in the middle of this event. So now I have these non-refundable tickets that are very, very expensive and only marketed to a very small group of people.
Yeah.
So where would I sell these things? This is what we've created. So
I
now
still need to borrow my ticket. So
well, you better hit it. Since I've told this story today, I've had 3 people hit me up. So I'm really looking forward to it. I'm in a very unique position though, because of what I do and the people I interact with. And so I can do that, right? Not everybody has that access, just like not everybody has a platform to talk about their project, which is why Coffee and Crypto with Stone is so important. So now you'll have this platform, this Web3 platform that people are already showing up to every day, that now you're in a situation like this, you can post it up on the board. Somebody else comes along to do their normal thing that they do every day, and then they see it and they can purchase it. This is just one aspect. Now, on top of that, you can add in all the marketing. So who grew up watching cartoons? Right? Everybody. And if you didn't watch the cartoons, your little ones did. And what was the whole point of a cartoon? Why would somebody spend so much time creating these little animations to entertain your kids so you could get some things done? Probably not.
Wallet.
They probably had an alternative, an alternative. I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say.
Ulterior motive.
Ulterior motive, right. And what they were doing is they were programming those little people that really held all the position in your home, because if they throw the right amount of energy at you, you're going to do whatever you got to do to turn that amount of energy off. And that's usually the form of purchasing cereal or whatever shiny little thing that they saw in their cartoon. Now they see in the aisle, and now they want it, and they're going to bother you until you buy it. And you didn't even think about that. It was the fact they spent, 3 hours in front of the TV on Saturday. You just thought they were a spoiled kid or whatever. They wanted the thing they wanted, right? That's what memes are. It's a form of communication without you realizing that you're being communicated to. Yes. We have to entertain you in order to get your attention long enough to market the things that we need you to buy. This is the whole strategy behind any marketing ever. It's all psychological. So, how are we going to communicate with people when they leave the Web 2 world and they go to this future of finance Web 3 marketplace? Well, how are we going to connect with those people? Who turned off their TV 2 years ago? Right? Somebody already mentioned that. Yeah, me too. When I met Amanda on 11/11/22, I met this woman that had lived in a house for 2 years and never hung a TV on the wall. I'm like, what are you doing with those? She's like, I don't watch TV. I said, how do you entertain yourself? And she looked at me kind of funny, like, I live my life. Well, I haven't watched TV since, except to watch my Ohio State Buckeyes win the national championship this year. That's right. All you Michigan fans out there, just saying. Yeah. Anyway, my point is, mematics are the future of advertising. Whether you like it or not, whether you believe in it or not, it doesn't matter. Whether you think it's just a funny, colorful billboard. It's just a colorful billboard today because you don't understand that. 2 years from now, you're going to be like, I've seen that somewhere. Where did I see that? And you're going to talk about it. You might not talk about it today. It doesn't matter, because the projects that we're working with are going to be here for a long time, the long run. So you need to see it. If you need to see it 150 times, so be it. That's what it'll take for you. We'll be here when you show up. You'll pay a tax. It'll be a little more expensive because it took so long to get to you. But that's where the future of finance is going. That's where the future of advertising is going. That's why memes are important. That's why community is important. And that's why it's important to surround yourself with people that want the best for you. I want the best for all of these other projects, so that when the new person comes in, they see what an amazing community we've built, a strong community that has things to offer. Right now, the Web3 environment doesn't have anything to offer to the regular person, because all of those things are being satisfied in their normal lives. There's no need to move. But as you realize the amount of friction you're paying for to do these certain things, as you realize the value added of actually controlling your finances and dealing with your money yourself, that you don't have to pay these fees and you get things delivered to your door by magic and you never had to go to Amazon, you'd be like, whoa, what's going on here? You mean I don't have to pay tax? So here's why everybody's coming to crypto? Because a very smart person did a very, very smart thing. He removed a lot of money from the system by saying, we're not going to tax you. Do you know what a motivator that is for everybody that understands finance? Mm-hmm. Those people are quickly going to move into crypto. The people that work for those people are going to hear about it. And then the people that are friends with those people that work for those people are going to hear about it. You just got to decide at which level do you want to commit to the future of finance. And it's really, really hard when you don't know where to start. And it's really, really hard. It's really, really hard when you don't know who to trust. And the only way you're going to trust someone is if you see them and interact with them and understand that they say the same thing over and over and over. They keep repeating their actions, and those actions align with what you want. Those are the people you want to listen to. If somebody's yelling at you and trying to convince you to do something right away, take a step back and ask what their motivation is. I'm telling you, whenever you're ready, I'll be here to show you how to do it. I already know how to do it. I'm not doing it for me.
9 to 5 or 9 to 11, Monday through Friday. Coffee and crypto with Stone in the morning. Hey, listen, Gotta Be said, love you guys. He had to leave real quick. He thanks Kendall, Stone, Amanda, and Simon.
And we got to connect with you. Yeah, we got to connect with him.
Well, definitely. We got a couple minutes left. And I know that this conversation could go on for hours and hours.
It does go on for hours.
I definitely want to say thank you to everyone that came. There's 208 people watching.
Yay.
I'm super thankful that you guys came on the show at the last minute, and I'm just thrilled that I got to meet you in person. I would like to go around with some final thoughts, and hopefully we can have you guys back on the show and really explore some stuff with FML. That would be fantastic. But let's start with Jay and go Kendall and Amanda and Stone, and then we'll shut her down.
Okay.
I'll be fast. Just show you guys something real quick. I know it's going to come up. This is a little, mouse pad. And there's an ethos right here. I'm going to read it real quick. You guys have all heard it. 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveler, long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for the passing there, had worn them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay in leaves, no step had trodden back. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh somewhere ages and ages hence. 2 roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. That's crypto. That's FML. That's my brother sitting right there, Kendall. He took a chance on me. Our relationship has grown to this. We got to do an AMA with Stone. I can't tell you how awesome this is. I love you guys. Like I said, it feels so weird when you said, it's great to finally meet you. I'm like, huh? Why do I feel like I love you like your family already? Right?
We are family. That's why we're family.
You are. And I think the people that are the watchers and the listeners feel it too. And that for me is the most exciting, because that's why we did this, is so people can go, I can get into this. So let me just do this one thing, and then I'm going to mute myself. By a show of hands, who lost money in crypto? That's education, security, and safety. Education, security, and safety. That's what we want to bring with FML. And then the business, but that, that's for us to make money and everybody else. But so there you go. Thank you guys.
It's
an honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Kendall, the coolest in the room.
I also have a poem ready. No, I don't. I just thank you. I wasn't expecting to come up here, but Jay told me I needed to, so I came up here, and glad I did. Had a great time. Met y'all. Y'all seem wonderful. Can't wait to come back. Closing statement is, there's a video of me on a 60-inch Ferris mower in my underwear and cowboy boots. Sweet. If that sounds like it's up your alley, find us.
Oh,
Florida Man Landscaping on YouTube. It's out there. And we have to do another one. I wasn't going to do this, but because we hit 1 million market cap, we're supposed to have both of us out there going in our Speedos. Yeah. So, hey, stay tuned. Must See TV.
I'm glad you guys are having fun with it, because I mean that's the best advertisement, when you can come across something that's really funny and memorable, and then the fact that you're building something that's going to have utility. It's just it's very cool, very cool, very nice to meet you. I'm glad that you came, Kendall.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Fire,
Thank you so much for
fire, both of you.
Optimistic.
My kids have been acting like hooligans all day. I don't even know. They're just like,
I love your kids. I love them.
It's so crazy. They just started screaming in the background. A broom fell on Delilah's toe. So I missed the end of what Kendall was saying, and I apologize for that. Usually I'm out of the truck. I'm going to be in the dark for a second, just to walk away, because I think things are
No
blowing
worries.
up in the house. But yeah, I just wanted to say thank you so much for sharing, this time with me. And, I feel honored to be on here with you guys. It means a lot to me that that Jay has a story about how he met me, and it was out of, I didn't know I met Jay years ago, I guess. And the fact that I get to be on this stage with you right now while you are completely doxing yourself for the first time. When the story is about doxing, the whole journey to you being okay with being you and being here, and I spent 20 years doing that, and it's, gotten me into, well, I mean, honestly, like Stone said, I only find the good people. And, while I felt invisible for a lot of years, and some days I do still feel a little invisible, you guys, it's because I only find the good people, and the good people are far and few between, and you got to wait 40 years to find them. And then when you do, you never want to let them go. So, it's truly an honor to be on your show. I wish Simon talked more tonight, but it's okay. I appreciate all that you guys do, and all that you're creating, and that you're really putting trust into the word trust line. And I think that might have been why it was all created in the first place. Why God sent some people to have the thought, to have the knowledge, to have the algorithm, to create the thing. And like you said, future proofs past. Well, the past is right now. And it's good people building something good. And that's the only way that the world changes. And so, hats off to all of you for knowing that, and for, believing yourself worthy. I think that ultimately God tests us all to the point where, do you feel worthy? Because the world is created to make you hate on yourself, and make you have a dialogue in your mind that thinks you're inadequate, that you did so many wrong things, you don't deserve the things that you do deserve. It is your birthright. And so to be at this point in history, writing the stories of the past on the cave walls of the blockchain with all of you, being on Dip a Toe, being on, the fact that our interview is on IMU TV is just mind blowing to me. And all of you guys, to be here and to just be witness, to hold space for the, the evolution of humanity in the blockchain, and know that I have friends that I trust and I can send people to. And you're doing everything you can. You can't prevent the nefarious actors, and you can't prevent the people who, their only goal is to make money. And because I get that, I struggle with it too. I really want a lot of money, but that's okay. Just to know that you exist in the world, and how much you've all supported me. It's just, I prayed for you guys for a very, very, very long time, and I had a lot of days where I wanted to give up. So, just to be in the company of giants, of future giants, is, I just look at it every day. I'm like, Amanda, one day it'll matter. One day these little episodes with 300 people watching you, Melissa, will seem like a lifetime ago. And you'll be like, the comments, you won't be able to keep up to the comments, and the relationships will be sort of through people. It'll be the next people that will have to take on those relationships, because there'll be too many. But right now, what a gift it is to still be so small, that we can all get to know each other and know our faces and know our voices and know our intentions and, be witness to the journey, each other's journey. And I really, really want to own a coffee shop that talks about crypto all the time. So anyways, have a great night. And thanks so much for having me.
We all love you. You are a bright, shining light, and so thankful that I got to know you. And I couldn't have said it better myself. We are blessed to have a small space right now and all of us getting to know each other. And I can't wait for us all to celebrate together when we got a little jingle and we can have a nice party where I don't know, maybe we'll all go camping, glamping or something, or rent
the
something.
Manifestival,
Yeah,
Melissa.
the Manifestival. We're gonna have the Manifestival. But yes, we love you. You are a fantastic human, and thank you for dipping a toe with us. We love you, Amanda. Stone.
Well, I feel like I probably talked the most. Well, I don't know. Jay's a good talker, but I appreciate you guys having us on, and everything that Optimistic said is absolutely it's gonna happen. Our community is just gonna continue to grow. This is just a starting point. I didn't get to finish the story about the cafe. I got sidetracked with the Web3 version, but what Amanda or Optimistic Prime was referring to, Fluid X color scheme that people are going to be used to trading with, people like Jay that are surrounded by 12 screens, me that I have 6 screens. We live this Web3 world, this lifestyle where everything's online. It's all a certain way because you can manipulate it and have certain colors and certain, charts up. Well, if you were to walk into the brick and mortar store, which is what Optimistic Prime is referring to, that NFT that held all your information of your settings and everything on your screens, then when you walked in, depending on what level of a founder you are, founder NFTs coming soon, you would walk in and then all the screens and the charts would change to match what your cockpit, your sanctuary looks like at home to make you feel comfortable. And then inside these brick and mortar stores would be centered around crypto trading. The theme would all be crypto trading, but there would be booths set up with computers and all the things you would need to do a presentation, to do a pitch, to give somebody a deck and explain it, or to walk them through what's soon to be a very easy onboarding process. And there's guys out there from like Anados Finance, Panos and Peter. They're creating onboarding techniques that are going to be just like you use today with your Face ID. You're not going to have to deal with all the securities and all the friction that we are encompassing now onboarding people. But that learning process is the value added to getting in early. That learning process is the gate between the people that really want to try and overcome that very, very small gate to entry. But that's the difference in millions of dollars. That little bit of want and interest in learning is really going to pay off for those people in the future. The people that are willing to go through that little bit of learning, the people that blow their kid off and tell them to go outside and play and don't worry about this thing called Bitcoin, those people are learning now. So the people 10 years from now, the people that are blowing it off now, they're going to look back and they're going to be like, why didn't I go listen to Melissa at Dip a Toe? Why didn't I create that X account and just go see what they were talking about? It's free to listen. It's free to like, to share, to talk.
That's not true.
It's free to be involved.
That's not true.
Oh,
yes. We don't need to get into semantics on whether you're going to be premier or not, or prime or not, but it is free to listen. It is free to create an account.
You must be willing to give for one thing that we cannot make more of, and that is your time, the most precious asset. So if you are going to exchange one's most precious asset, then invest it back into yourself. Give your time to listen to individuals on this screen and give yourself, because you deserve it. We all deserve it. Give yourself that time to do it, because some of you people out there in the crypto space that might be just catching this show, you took a break from maybe crypto, you got a wallet, and now you're coming back. And this may really sound like Fantasyland or parts of a movie that we've all seen, like what Stone's talking about, coming into a coffee house and there's all the comforts of my home and I'm ready to do some trading, right? Even though I'm out of town, away from the fam, I can still come to this place and feel good. Like I'm back in my hood, right? Fire. But we've seen stuff like that in movies. This really is the reality.
It's happening.
It's literally being built. You won't see it, but you have a chance to hear about it. And tonight, some of you that gave your time to be here just heard about it. And everybody else that wasn't here, that moment's gone.
That's right.
But there will be more like it tomorrow morning, 9/11 Eastern.
9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday.
All right. Coffee and crypto. Hey, I work and I'm there. It's in my headphones even when I can't be.
Yeah.
You guys, I hear it. Listen, when I wake up in the morning, I do my morning prayer, right? And it's in my head. It's like it's such a motivator. And I'm like, damn it, I gotta go to the gym. I gotta make breakfast. I got all these other things before I get to do the thing I want to do.
Yeah.
From the time I wake up to the time I go to bed, I got.
Listen, it's
screens.
So many things.
Like today, we were in the protectors space. I was in a meme space. I had a Google Meets. They're like, hey, can you multitask? I started laughing. And I'm like, what multiple are we at? Are we at a 6x at this point?
I'm trying to do all this and have a job, and not lose my job, my gerb. I'm listening. I got the super secret squirrel headphones now where my hair hides it. Yeah. So I'm literally doing my job.
I say you pull the hair back. Just pull the hair back. Let your boss see.
Huh?
Let your boss see, and then she'll. Oh, you can't have that. I'm like, sorry, learning about the future, because someday you will fire me, and I'm gonna be okay with that. It ain't gonna be today, but when you fire me, I'm gonna say, did you check out XRP? I don't know what that is. 10 years later, you're gonna be shoulda, coulda, woulda.
That's right. When they come to tell you to disconnect, you just give it to them.
Yeah. Well. I definitely don't want to lose my job right now, but I am trying to do all of this and work at the same time. And it is difficult, but I enjoy it so much. And I do appreciate having coffee and crypto in the morning because I get to work and I'm able to turn it on and listen in my headphones. And sometimes I can hop up and talk, but I enjoy hearing all the different projects and stuff that are coming. And, it's very cool. It's very cool. There's a lot of spaces for those of you that don't know. There's a lot of spaces that are on X, but they're not like coffee and crypto. And you'll find out. You'll go to them and they'll either be bickering or severe shilling. Some get really political. Coffee and crypto is a very it's informational. It's very similar to Dip a Toe in the fact that we want the little guy to come up and explain what's happening, what they're building, how do we get help to do this or that. Questions get answered when you're there. Stone makes you feel welcome to come up on the stage and ask your questions and talk about what you're building. And he encourages that. And in the past, I don't know how long you've had your show, Stone, but I feel like I started listening to it since the first or second show. I don't know, you literally came out of nowhere for me. And the next thing you know, like FML Jay was saying, we're family, right? And so I feel like I've always known you. I've always been listening to you. But what I've noticed is the people that come on, they've gotten more and more confident right? In the way that they speak, everyone is improving. We're all improving and we're doing this together and supporting each other together. I heard them talking to Niall, Rob and Fitzy was talking to Niall and saying how much he's improved in his explaining and talking. Now he's like an old pro. It's because we continue to lift each other up. And so with that, I just want to say thank you, everybody, for coming. Thank you. Oh, yeah. I want to thank everybody for coming to Dip a Toe Show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. It really means a lot to us. Together we win. Remember that. And remember that you can do this. So if you're dipping your toe for the first time, you're just starting, go back through our videos, go visit Coffee and Crypto in the morning, check out Amanda's Wandering Footprint. Just realize that you do have a lot of power. You are strong, and we are a network of people here to help you. No shilling allowed, but we love you, and we hope to see you again next week, Wednesday. Have a good rest. What is it? We got to go. Keep dipping that toe.
We got to
Like
go.
and subscribe.
Keep dipping that too.